everyone expects a liar to look away or fidget during a difficult conversation. But the most revealing signal happens right on their face before they even speak.
Watch their mouth the exact second you ask them a direct or unexpected question.
A sudden tightening of the lips reveals a massive shift from their normal baseline. Once you catch this tiny micro behavior, you will start noticing it almost everywhere. We are incredibly good at rehearsing our words to sound perfectly convincing, but our physical reactions operate on an entirely different system. When someone feels suddenly threatened by a specific question, their nervous system reacts immediately. Their body subtly prepares to defend itself. These tiny physical shifts leak out because they are incredibly difficult to suppress entirely. Imagine sitting across from a colleague during a tense workplace negotiation. You ask a direct question about a missing financial report. Instantly, their lips press together so tightly they almost disappear. Why would someone react this way to a simple question? This sudden lip compression is a classic physiological response to sudden stress. It often suggests the person is unconsciously withholding information or suppressing a negative emotion. They are literally sealing their mouths shut to prevent the truth from spilling out. At first, this single physical movement seems utterly insignificant to the untrained eye. It flashes across their face in a fraction of a second. But another subtle physical signal almost always appears right after it. You just have to know exactly where to look next. Direct your attention just slightly above their compressed lips. Watch their eyes the moment the awkward silence stretches on. You might notice their blink rate suddenly dramatically slow down. What could cause someone to stare so intensely without blinking? When the brain is working incredibly hard to fabricate a story, cognitive load increases massively. This heavy mental effort can cause spontaneous blinking to pause entirely. They are freezing like a deer caught in the headlights. This rigid stare may indicate they are carefully calculating their next fabricated sentence. It is an involuntary attempt to maintain total control over their facial expressions. But keeping the face perfectly still requires massive amounts of mental energy. This intense focus usually forces a third behavioral tell to leak out elsewhere. Look away from their tense face and observe their hands. As they finally begin to answer your question, their hands freeze completely. Why would a normally expressive person suddenly stop using hand gestures? During normal, honest communication, our hands naturally illustrate our thoughts. But deception requires strict monitoring of both words and body movements. This often results in a sudden lack of natural physical animation. They unconsciously lock their arms to their sides to avoid drawing unwanted attention. This stiff posture may reveal a deep internal fear of being discovered. It looks as though they are physically shrinking to make themselves a smaller target. Individually, a tense mouth, a frozen stare, or stiff hands might mean nothing, but these quiet shifts are slowly building a much larger narrative. It is vital to understand that no single signal proves anything on its own. Human behavior is highly complex and heavily dependent on specific contexts. Professional analysts always look for behavioral clusters rather than isolated movements. A baseline shift only becomes meaningful when several signals appear together. You must observe a sudden grouping of stress indicators to make a reliable assessment. Imagine you are sitting at a coffee shop on a first date. The conversation is flowing naturally with relaxed shoulders and easy smiles. Then you ask why their last major relationship ended. Watch the behavioral cluster emerge in real time. First, their lips press together tightly before they even answer. Second, their blink rate drops as they formulate a safe response. Finally, their previously animated hands drop quietly beneath the table. They casually sip their coffee, hoping you missed the massive shift. The words they finally speak might sound perfectly rehearsed and completely calm. But their physical cluster just revealed a completely different silent story. Our bodies are constantly broadcasting our deepest hidden truths to anyone willing to observe. Once you learn to recognize these subtle clusters, casual conversations will never look the same again.